We're here to keep it positive with the Cleveland Browns, the first person to do it since 1999, but we're on Shedeur Sanders watch. We're on Stefanski watch. We're on Hawaiian Leprechaun, a.k.a. Dillon Gabriel watch. Get well soon, kid. But today's the day. We're going to talk about what we should expect today in this matchup against the Raiders. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we've been keeping tabs on these quarterbacks every day since May, pretty much. So when everybody starts talking about the practice reps like they did last week, we show you the whole iceberg, because we've been doing it the whole time, and we had more tidbits than anybody else. We make fun of the Browns, we make fun of the coaches, we make fun of leadership, because they've been doing some off-the-wall stuff, and we've been pointing it out, going over what the media is saying about them and the team. Click that subscribe button. Stop missing out. But how are you feeling on a Sunday? How are you feeling about this matchup coming in today? So my breakdown of this game, I've gave you parts of it throughout the week. All in all, you want to know my thoughts on Shedeur? I think he's going to be better than last week. And you're hearing accounts that he's taking it like a final exam. Like he is cramming, studying. And that's what I said Monday, Tuesday. It felt like it's going to be a final exam that you're going to have to cram everything down. Now, with that being said, there's a lot more riding on this than Shedeur good, Shedeur bad. There's a lot riding on this game. A lot. I hope I remember everything to pinpoint. But if you're looking out on the Raiders side, they have to get to him. If not, if they can't pressure him, because you look at all the advanced data, the Raiders aren't that great pressuring quarterbacks. They got Crosby. He's been doing great. And they're planning on taking a tight end and having that shadowed up. But still, if they don't get to Shedeur, he's going to find wide receivers, and he's got that deep ball accuracy. If they don't get to him, and they know this, that's why Pete Carroll was very stoic when asked about him this week when talking about Shedeur. And part's his job, but of course. But they know. They study him throughout the draft process. Like, if they can't get to him, he's going to light them up. What do you think the Browns are going to do? What do you think the Browns are going to do when you're looking at this? You're looking at the Raiders' defense when it comes to, I do fantasy football breakdowns, when it comes to allowing fantasy points to quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs. Typically, all those aspects, they're around middle of the road. Like, they will allow them to get beat up. And the thing about this, I see a lot of Quinshon Judkins, and he has not been hot as of late, but he was hot earlier in the season. And I think the deep ball capabilities of Shedeur is going to help open things up for them. And if it does, that's going to make things a lot easier for Shedeur. He only needs to complete 3 to 4 passes. Offensive line has to hold up. They're holding up. If the run game's going, and Quinshon Judkins is going to be the man of this offense. He is going to be the star of the show. And then you're going to see Shedeur come in, make his plays. So you're seeing him with a prop bet of 160 yards on a lot of sites around that range. For him to hit that, Quinshon needs to roll a little bit. Offensive line needs to not commit a lot of penalties today, and they need to play clean. Everybody needs to step up. Due to context here, this is a young quarterback still. Give him his rookie grace. You should see some shades of the rookie come out, and you should see some shades of the talent come out. I expect him to make some pretty passes today. But for him to hit plus 160 yards, I think he's going to be relatively easy. I think that's a low prop. The Raiders have allowed only one quarterback to get less than 200 yards. That was Bo Nix. That was a 10-7 game. When you're looking at that, and you're looking at Dillon Gabriel hitting over 200 in a lot of matchups, you're looking at this as a softer defense. You're looking at Geno Smith. Like, everybody's going Shedeur. What about Geno Smith against this defense? What about that? Geno Smith could mess up that prop. It's so rough for him. Geno Smith could mess up that prop. Geno Smith throws a couple picks, and the Browns defense gets to him, and they score with Quinshon Judkins a couple times, and they can control the clock. And during those drives, Shedeur just needs to complete a few passes. They keep controlling clock, And next thing you know, we're deep into the game. Browns are up. They don't have to do much, and they're just controlling it. That could happen if you're looking at this. I think probabilities are good for the Browns as long as they play clean. They come in and play clean. That defense and the run game, the softness of that Raiders defense, as long as they come in and play clean, Shedeur has to limit the turnovers, give him grace on a couple, give him grace on that. Like, I expect him to be better than last week. I'm not expecting him to throw for 350 and 6 touchdowns. I'm not expecting that, but I'm expecting him to be efficient with the ball. You got a 36.5 over under as of last night. I need to check right before kickoff and see if Vegas decided to go in on this game. But that is one of the lowest over-unders, implied point totals on the season. They're expecting this to be an ugly game. That is what it's saying. It could hit the over. It could hit that. Last time they played was 2024, and I think they hit 36 total points, if I remember right. So, different context of that game, but I could definitely see this being an ugly matchup back and forth, especially if they can shut down Geno. If you're looking for the over, if you're looking for more scoring, you need Geno to get some pushback, and how you're going to do that is obviously Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is something, a defense, not just a defense does not see every single week. That could be a deciding factor if he can hit on a few plays. That could open this game up. And they need Geno to open this game up because that's what the Raiders need, or the Browns are just going to crush them with defense. They're going to run it, and Shedeur is going to capitalize on some plays. Now, you're wondering, like, well, he holds the ball too long. Expect to be better than last week, and you probably will get a few instances of that. There's probably going to be some meat on the bone for the haters to chew on, and there's going to be some meat on the bone for the Shedeur fans to chew on in this matchup. He's a rookie, first ever starts. The context of this whole team's been weird. Like, this is one of the weirdest starts of all time for a first-time quarterback when you put everything together. And he's the 42nd quarterback to start for the Browns since 1999. I think it was maybe 22 of those seasons, if I remember right, because I was just counting on the videos when they were doing the countdowns on that they started multiple quarterbacks, and this is one of them. 18, 22, or something like that. It was an even number. But I don't need the exact number to know that this team's trash, that quarterback, for most of my entire lifetime. I don't need to know that. We know this. And that's a testament to what's going on. Why you need to root for him as a Browns fan is because you got 2 first-round picks in the chamber. You got that Deshaun Watson salary just clogging things up. I think you know enough on Deshaun Watson. I think you know enough on Dillon Gabriel. This is your ambiguous upside right here for your team. If he hits to his upside to what everybody saw at Colorado, you got a 5th-round contract here to build your team with that cog of a salary there, and 2 first-round picks to build your team. And you can move them around. You need to build that offensive line. You need to get wide receivers. You need to add ammo. If you spend a good portion of that on a young quarterback, Mendoza, whoever, then you got less ammo to rebuild that up. And more than likely in that scenario, because the ambiguous upside of Shedeur Sanders didn't turn around, and this coaching staff's gone. Everything's gutted. More than likely, everything's going to be gutted. So you got to deal with that. You don't not know who's coming in to really build up these guys. If there's going to be a process of development, which we didn't have here, especially this season, that could be an ugly look. You could be looking at the 43rd, 44th, 45th starting quarterback since 1999. It could unravel worse from here because you got that cog of salary. You got ammo here that you have to be disciplined with. You got to see what you have in Shedeur Sanders. You have to coach him up. For the coaching staff, Kevin Stefanski, Rees, everything's not going to plan this year. We all know this. We all know that. Put that in your back pocket for now. This is a game that will prove that this coaching staff can cram in information and get things going for a young quarterback in this context to get him ready to win a game. And for when they move on to another team, they have that. They're going to get grilled in the interviews with every other team, or at least most of them. Really depends, I guess. Context is king with everything. I say that all the time. But they don't know what the future is going to be like. So they know more than likely in interviews for coaching jobs and positions that they're going to be asked about this. Every single thing. They're going to be asked about what happened, why, what, when, where. The development of the quarterbacks. Everybody knows about this. So the thing is, they're trying to get him ready and up to speed. They got to. This could turn things around for their careers, not just Stefanski, because you're looking at him as the head piece, everybody underneath too. Because, like, if they can turn this around with him, that's going to help them future jobs and everything else. This is going to be a huge pivotal point for the Browns. This is probably one of the biggest games recently for them because it dictates draft position, what they're doing in draft, what they're doing with capital, building for the future. If they can't figure it out with him, they got to start pulling more strings. And more strings are pulled, the more ambiguous things get. And you got that cog of that Deshaun Watson salary here. You're going to have to clean house. You got an ownership that meddles a lot into things. We kind of get rumblings from beat writers and stuff. They can't say straight up, but they kind of said it the other day from Daryl Reuter. It was about a week and a half ago or something. We called that up, that they meddle in with some of the coaching decisions. We called that out. Don't know which video, but remember, there's a lot of strangeness. They need this to hit. Not just Shedeur good, Shedeur bad. It's more than that for the Browns. I think if they play clean, offensive line, defense holds up, and they've been doing their share. They've been doing more than their share. Myles Garrett goes on a rampage. Quinshon Judkins will be the catalyst. I think Shedeur will calm down even more. He'll be more calmer to start this game. As he calms down, you're going to see some pretty passes come out. You're going to see him make some big plays today. You're definitely going to see that. You'll definitely see some head-scratching plays. It's context. It's everything else. He's a rookie. Always give your rookie some grace. That's the thing about that. Don't expect him in your first start ever to come out being Joe Montana. That's not fair to him either. That's not fair to him. Just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the game here, guys. Just enjoy the game. Like, we'll be back after the game talking about it, one way, shape, or form. Allow them to really play this game. He's good no matter what. Don't make an idol out of this. Enjoy the game. Everything's going to be solid. Everything's going to be all right. You're looking at him. He's cramming. He's putting in the work. He's always put in the work. Everything's going to be all right. This is a very advantageous matchup. Things are looking good. I think the Browns have a good chance coming out with a dub with this. I think it could be an interesting matchup. It could be ugly defensively for both teams. It could be a slow game. It should be a slow game if you really think about it. You got the Browns defense slowing things up. If they can run the ball, they're going to keep at it, and they're going to make that play through the air when they need it, keep running it, keep controlling clock, minimizing plays so we don't expose ourselves, so we don't get put in those situations. Penalties are going to be key in this game. You can't let him get into 3rd and 8. You can't let him get to 3rd and 10. Not 3rd and 12. Everybody's got to play up. Everybody's got to play up. Everybody's talking about how this was a breath of fresh air. Now you got to put it on the field. You got to put it on the field. That's what's got to happen. But that's what I'm saying. Now, if they don't play up, that could go nasty because you're not putting him in positions to succeed, and you didn't since the inception anyways. So that could go haywire. But if everyone plays up, limit penalties, pass protection good, defense plays out of their mind, this could be an easy dub for them. And he probably doesn't have to do much. He does not have to do much to get it. He just has to limit the mistakes, and there's grace for those mistakes. There should be on some of that. Maybe they run it so much, the haters will say, oh, Quinshon Judkins did all the work, defense did all the work, that must be nice against the Raiders. It's just the Raiders. Consider that a win. Because if you don't have haters, it means you're not doing anything right. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.